Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 96.5 thechill.com.
WTIM.
Good morning, Leroy Clamola here with you. Hope you're doing all right this morning. Glad to join you here as I bumped my microphone because, of course, I did. And we are going to be interviewing Jack Myers with the Social Security Office. And Jack, glad to have you on the show, sir. Hope you're doing all right today.
Oh, thanks, Leroy. I appreciate you having me on.
It's always good to be able to hear you because it means that everything's working on my end.
Good thing.
I joked with Avery before he left, and I said, I'm going to figure out all the buttons and bells and whistles right in time for me to transfer over to the new guy when he gets here, and that seems to be the case. I just now got everything all figured out just in time to transfer everything over.
That's how it works, though, right?
I know it. So, Jack, you're here to talk to us a little bit about Social Security, and obviously Social Security has come a long way in some of the technology stuff that you guys have going on. One of those big ways that you guys have technology is through a My Social Security account. But do I need one if I'm not going to retire anytime soon?
Yeah, I really think you do, Leroy. I mean, that's a good question to ask because a lot of people wonder that. They think, I don't really have to start thinking about that kind of stuff until I get closer to retirement. But there are actually a lot of benefits to having a My Social Security account that you would set up for yourself through our website at ssa.gov. Really, once you start working, I recommend it for people who are 18 or older, have an email address, have a Social Security number. There are a lot of good reasons to do that. One of the things, if you think about it this way, Leroy, one of the most common things that people come to our offices for is to get a replacement Social Security card or some kind of Social Security card related business. Well, if you have an Illinois driver's license or an Illinois state ID, or actually one from most states, but since we're in Illinois, we'll talk Illinois. If you've got an Illinois driver's license or an Illinois state ID and you need a replacement Social Security card, you can log into your My Social Security account and request that replacement card right through your account. So you can do it after work when you get home some night. You can do it on the weekend. You don't have to take time off from work, visit a Social Security office and put that application in. And we don't print those Social Security cards in a Social Security field office. So no matter if you come into the office or if you go onto the website and do it, you're still going to get the card in the mail. So there's really no downside to doing it that way. If you have that driver's license or state ID and all you need is a replacement card, go to the ssa.gov website, set up your account, get the replacement card that way. It's really simple, really easy. It just doesn't require you to adjust the rest of your day if you do it that way.
It makes things a whole lot easier, and doing it from the convenience of your home, which is always a big important step. I can just do it in my pajamas sitting in front of my TV, so that's always a big plus for me.
There you go. And that's not the only advantage to having one of those accounts for a younger worker, Leroy, because when one of the things that I try to tell people is it's always important to be kind of looking ahead towards your future, towards retirement benefits, towards disability benefits. And, one thing that you may or may not realize is that the work that you do through the years and the taxes you pay into Social Security are ultimately what will determine how much you get from Social Security and monthly benefits. So, for example, for retirement benefits, we're going to look at your 35 best years of earnings. But if you think about it, what verification do you really get from your employer that those earnings were reported to Social Security? You get a W-2, but that doesn't necessarily prove that they sent those earnings to Social Security and that we got record of them. Now, most of the time we do, but if you set up your My Social Security account, you can log in to your account and look at your earnings record, and you can see that those earnings have posted to your record every year. And then if you spot a problem, it's pretty easy for us to get it fixed for you if you still have the W-2 or the self-employment tax return data. We can get that adjusted for you, and it's not that difficult. But if you don't find it right away and you're looking maybe 20 years down the road and you no longer have those tax documents, then it becomes harder to get it corrected. So it is a good idea to keep an eye on that. Now, it takes us a little while to process all the wage reports. So I would say if you're looking at it now and you don't see 2022, don't be too concerned yet. But once we get to the end of the year, if 2022 is still not there, then that's when you would want to contact us with your W-2 or your self-employment documents, and we could get that adjusted for you.
It always reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Jerry loses his tax returns and has to go track down like 150 receipts from the past year so he can take care of getting everything all done.
Yeah, all the joys of a self-employed individual, right?
All right, so you've got me. I'm going to sign up for this my Social Security account. What do I need to know about signing in or signing up for that?
So basically, I guess first and foremost, you need to know where to go. So you go to our website, which is ssa.gov. That's going to be our official Social Security website. Once you're there, you can scroll down and look for something that says My Social Security Account. Then you can create the account. Now, we've got a couple different ways. So if you've had an account for a while, you may have just a regular username and password that you'll use to log in. If you are setting up the account new, then you'll just look for what says create an account, and it's going to send you through something called login.gov. So basically what login.gov is it's an authentication service that you can use to set up accounts with various government agencies. So you're going to go through that portal, set up your login.gov account. As long as you have an email address and preferably a way you can get text messages, then you're pretty good shape. I always recommend, so when you're setting that kind of stuff up, you're going to be asked for either an email address to use or a cell phone number for text messages for what's known as multi-factor authentication. Basically, when you go to log into an account, you're going to get a code that's good for about 10 minutes, and you're going to enter that code to complete your login to the account each time. So I always recommend the text message option there, because sometimes depending on your email service, because these codes are only good for about 10 minutes, sometimes it takes people more than 10 minutes to get the email through their email service. So the text message, I think, is a better way to go because it's faster and you don't have the headache typically. And it's not always a headache with email, but it just can be more common to have a headache that way than with the text message option.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the easier access can obviously be a big step towards doing stuff and towards making sure that you're all set up to get in there and get going towards being able to see your information.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I would recommend, if there's a husband and wife listening, for example, you might want to use your own cell phone for each of you, because, if one of you are at home and you're wanting to log into your account and you use the other one's cell phone number, you're not going to get the code that you need. So it's probably a good idea to use your own number so that when you go to log into the account, the code comes to you and you can get in that way. Because like I said, if you're waiting on that code and it's sent to your spouse's phone, it doesn't necessarily do you a whole lot of good.
No, it doesn't. All right. What was that? What's that website one more time? It's ssa.gov.
That's right, ssa.gov. Make sure you're at ssa.gov, G-O-V, because that's how you know you're on our official website.
The last thing you want to do is be putting in your private information on like ssa.com or something like that.
That's right. You don't want to do that. ssa.gov is where you want to be.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more with Jack Myers. Talk to him about what Social Security is doing to recognize our military heroes. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be right back in just a few moments.
WTIM. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans lower, wheat trading higher. July corn 572 and a quarter, up 1 1/4. September corn up 507 3/4. December new crop 512 3/4, up 3 3/4. July beans down 17 1/4, 1324. August beans 1259 3/4, down 15 3/4. November new crop 1187 3/4, down 9 1/4. July wheat 611 1/4, up a nickel. September wheat also up a nickel, 623 3/4. July bean meal 409.80, down 240. July bean oil 48.14, down 63 cents. In the livestock market, May feeders 207.75, up $1.17. June live cattle 164.85, down 20 cents. June lean hogs 80.62, down $1.20. Energy market, July crude oil 73.34, up $1.29. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
The WTIM Swap Shop has gone virtual. Now you can list your items to buy, sell, trade, or give away absolutely free by posting them online. Just click on the Swap Shop icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Then click Create Account to create your free account. Complete the fields and hit Submit. Once your items are approved by station staff, they'll automatically show up on the Swap Shop page on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Yes, the WTIM Swap Shop is now online and still free. Check it out today.
It's spring. Time for a fresh start to put a spring back in your step. Taylorville Care Center wants to help you do just that. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, Taylorville Care Center's therapy program helps you recover and return home. Private rooms for rehab to home are available to provide great medical care. Family and friends can visit to encourage your recovery. Find out more on Taylorville Care Center's great therapy program and put a spring back in your step. Call 824-9636. 824-9636. Caring for the community for over 50 years.
At Central Illinois Outdoors, with me, Jared White, we want you to be a part of the program as well via the Archer's Alley Catch of the Week. Each week, we'll select one of your pictures submitted at centralillinoisoutdoors.com and invite you to tell your story of the great outdoors. We're looking for your kid's first catch or even your first big buck. There's a simple, easy form you can fill out on your phone or computer at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Send us your story, send us your pic. centralillinoisoutdoors.com and the Catch of the Week, brought to you by Archer's Alley, North 22nd Street in Decatur.
Far and away in 2022, Craig's Realtors yet again is the market leader. Owner Steve Craig's here. If you're looking to sell, we can help. Click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. And welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. Our live stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust. And joining us this morning, Jack Myers from the Social Security Administration Office. And Jack, again, thank you so much for joining us today. And Monday marks Memorial Day, and obviously we try to do a lot for our veterans. What is Social Security doing to honor our military heroes?
Yeah, Leroy, it is an important time to talk about that. I know we all kind of look forward to the Memorial Day weekend. It's the start of the summer and all that Memorial Day weekend brings to all of us. But I think it's important that we keep perspective on why we celebrate Memorial Day weekend. We're celebrating Memorial Day to honor the military service members who have given their lives for our country. And so at Social Security, we want to kind of talk a little bit about that and remind families who have lost loved ones that Social Security benefits may be payable to surviving family members, including spouses and children. Because as people are in the military, that's a paycheck that's taxed by Social Security. So they're working and they're paying into Social Security. And so they're building eligibility for survivor benefits, or hopefully just for their own retirement benefits down the road someday. But unfortunately, it doesn't always end that way for the men and women in the military. So in those cases, we're wanting to make sure that survivors know that there are benefits potentially there for them. And you can get info about that at our website. So if you go to ssa.gov/survivors, it'll talk all about survivor benefits. But then, I also want to talk a little bit about those who are wounded in service. Now, I recognize that's not necessarily what we're talking about on Memorial Day, but it is still important for us at Social Security to recognize and support our wounded warriors. People who come home and need help from the Social Security disability benefit because our program, because they were injured and can't work and need some sort of financial support. So basically, as a thank you for the service that these individuals provide, we have a couple initiatives. Number one, we call it the Wounded Warrior Initiative. And then the other one is applicable for somebody who has a Veterans Administration compensation rating of 100% permanent and total. So, basically either Wounded Warrior, and to qualify for that one, you have to have been disabled while on active military service on or after that is October 1st, 2001. So it doesn't really matter where you were as long as you were active in the military and it occurred on or after 10/1/2001. If you meet either of those criteria, either for the Wounded Warrior or that 100% PNC rating from VA, then what we'll do at Social Security, if you tell us about that, is we'll expedite your disability application. So essentially what we're doing there is we're moving your application to the front of the line. You still have to qualify for disability through the rules of our program. We can't change that for you, but we get that faster decision for you. And then I guess that also brings to mind something, Leroy, where I should point out that VA disability benefits and Social Security disability benefits are not the same. They are separate benefits, so you need to apply for them separately, and you should consider applying for both. If you're disabled and can't work, you should consider applying for both the VA and the Social Security. I think sometimes the VA is more top of mind, but don't forget about Social Security in that situation because you could potentially qualify for both. And just to help you kind of sort through all that, we've got a couple websites you can look at. Go to our website, ssa.gov/wounded warriors. You'll get all kinds of info about the disability programs and about these initiatives that I've talked about here today. It's a big step sometimes for someone to go ahead and apply for disability. And sometimes you don't even want to talk to somebody about it. You don't want to say it out loud because you don't want to necessarily make it real. If that's the case, just go to that website, read a little bit about it, see if you think it's the right move for you, and then go from there. Again, that's ssa.gov/wounded warriors to learn more about these expedited claims processes that I've talked about here this morning.
All right, Jack, we got about a minute left. So really, really quickly, how do I know if I qualify for my Social Security spouse's benefits?
Yeah, so there is a program out there, Leroy, where a person might qualify for Social Security benefits on their spouse's record. Basically, as long as you don't have a pension based on work that wasn't taxed by Social Security, because that puts you in a different situation altogether, there's a possibility that you would qualify if you're 62 or older, or if you have a young or disabled child of the worker in your care. We're going to look at your benefits compared to theirs. The spousal benefits 50%. So if yours is greater than half, you won't be doing anything. But if yours is less, then once they start drawing, you might be eligible for some additional money on their record. So if you have questions, check it out. You can read about it online at ssa.gov or give us a call at 800-772-1213, and we can talk to you about whether or not you qualify.
All right, Jack. So once again, it's what's the website that people can go to?
The website, and remember the .gov. It's ssa.gov for all the up-to-date information on Social Security benefits.
ssa.gov, and you can sign up. Make sure you do that now. Don't wait. Plenty of time for you to be able to check. Make sure you're getting those benefits that they say you're getting. All right.
That's right.
Sounds good. Well, Jack, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to talk to us this morning. Greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Jack Myers joining us from the Social Security Administration office, talking to us a little bit about some of the great benefits that he has going on, some of the awesome stuff that they have going on with Social Security, and whether it's setting up an account, checking, asking frequently asked questions, or even honoring military heroes and doing the things that they do. All right, more of the WTIM Morning Show coming up in just a little bit. right here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.